Good morning, students. Welcome back again. We were discussing chapter number 1, that is India, Land and People. The name of the chapter is Heritage of India, and the topic that we were discussing day before yesterday was India, Land and People. Right? So we have discussed almost 4 topics in the previous sessions. That is Hapsi people, Nishad people, the Dravidians and other tribes. And other tribes includes Mongoloids, Alpine, Dinaric and Armenoid. All these things we have discussed in the previous sessions. Right? So we are moving towards the end of the part, that is the end of the chapter. And there are 2 more topics that are to be discussed. The first topic is the Aryans, that is point number 5. There are 5 points: Hapsi, Nishad, Dravidians and other tribes. And there is one more point that was remaining, that is the Aryans. That is the Aryans. And the last topic of this chapter is preservation and conservation of heritage. Right? So we are remaining with this last 2 topics and we are going to finish it today. So I advise all the students to keep your textbook with you. Open page number 6. That is the Aryans. Right? The Nordic Aryans were the creators of Aryan civilization in India. Hindus were called Aryans in the ancient times, and the area where they densely populated was called Aryavarta. Underline the definition, right? Who were Aryans? Aryans were actually the Hindus. Aryans were actually the Hindus, right? In the previous sessions also I have told you that many people and many other tribes came to India and stayed over here and got met with the local people, right? So it's a mixed economy. Technically it's a mixed economy, right? So how will you identify that whether you are a Hindu or not? So at that point of time, that is almost 1,000, 5,000 years back, right? We are talking about the history, right? So at that point of time, even there were Hindus also, right? They were known as the Aryans. They were known as the Aryans, right? I told you in the previous session that Aryans and Dravidians were majority in the culture. They used to stay in north of India, right? And there was so much populations of the Aryans over there in north of India, so it became very difficult for the Dravidians to stay over there. So they migrated themselves from north to south, and that is why their language is known as different languages. I told you which languages also it is. That is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, etc. Right? All these languages are being spoken in the south of India, right? So at one point of time, right, the Aryans and the Dravidians, they both were Hindus only, right? But the Dravidians, separated themselves from the Aryan because the majority of the people in north of India, that is the population wise, right, they were in majority, that is the Aryans. So it became very difficult for the Dravidians, and even their language was different, so they transferred themselves from north to south, right? So the south of India that belongs to the Dravidians and the Aryans, they are known as the Hindus. They are known as the Hindus. Even they used to exist even 1,000, 5,000 years back, right? And every next to next generations change. That is what the Hindu culture is that exists today. But still again there is a probability that other tribes again came back to India and got settled over here in India. Right? અત્યારે આ વિઝાનું ને આ ટ્રાન્સફરનું ને અત્યારે જે પ્રોસેસ છે that becomes very difficult today. Right? But at that point of time people used to come to the port. Right? Sea based લોકો એકબીજાના કન્ટ્રીમાં આવીને સ્ટે કરતા. Right? આપણે એક ચેપ્ટર જોઈ ગયા હતા કુર્ગ. Right? In English. Right? The different people. રાઈટ હવે એમાં તમે કુર્ગમાં એકવાર રિવાઇઝ કરજો કેટલી બધી અલગ અલગ કાસ્ટ અને કલ્ચરના લોકો ઇન્ડિયામાં આવીને રહી ગયા હતા કુર્ગી પીપલ રાઈટ આઈ હોપ યુ રિમેમ્બર સો ધીસ ઓલ થિંગ્સ makes the country a mixed one, makes the country a mixed one, right? But the Hindu people at that point of time did existed even there 1,000 or 5,000 years back, and they were known as the Aryans. Right? So underline the definition. Hindus were called Aryans in the ancient time, and the area where they were densely populated, જ્યાંનું maximum population હતું, right? That particular place was known as Aryavarta. And 7 rivers were flowing over there. There were 7 rivers which were flowing over there. And that region was named as Sapta Sindhu. Underline that can be asked in fill in the blanks. 7 rivers which were flowing. Which is that place? Right? 4 options are there. That can be asked in an MCQ. That is known as Sapta Sindhu. In ancient time, the first Aryan population was concentrated in northwest. See, in north, north of India but on the west side, on the west side. એટલે તમે દિલ્હી અને કોલકાતા ને બધું તમે ગણો એટલે નોર્થ ઈસ્ટ થઈ ગયું. નોર્થ વેસ્ટ એટલે પંજાબ એન્ડ રાજસ્થાન કમિંગ ટુ ધીસ સાઇડ, coming to the other side. So that is the northwest. That is the northwest, right? In the ancient time, first Aryan population was concentrated in northwest. That is the area of Aryavarta was extended up to Bihar in the east. In the south, it spread to Vindhyachal. Bihar in the east. Bihar સુધી એ લોકો પહોંચી ગયા. That is the northeast. And south, that is up to Vindhyachal during the post-Vedic period. During the post-Vedic period. In short, the point is their numbers were rising very quickly. The numbers were rising very quickly. Which numbers? The numbers of the Aryans. The number of the Aryans, right? They were more advanced people than any other contemporary tribes. They were advanced people rather than the other tribes. આપણે આ બધી other tribes જે જોઈ ગયા, right? The remaining four. They were more advanced in the terms of their thinking and in the terms of their skill compared to these four other tribes, right? This vast land was recognized with various names as Bharat Bhumi, Bharat Khand, Bharat Varsha, etc. after the name of the king Arya Bharat or Bharat Kul tribe, right? They wanted this place to be called as Bharat Khand, that is the people living in this country that are Hindus or the Aryans. Hindus તો નહીં કહી શકાય, but Aryans, a point of time Aryans કહેતા હતા, right? એટલે એ લોકો એવું ઈચ્છતા હતા કે અમારી density in the terms of population is quite big, so we want this nation to be called as Bharat Bhumi. અમારી ભૂમિ છે, right? And why Bharat name was being selected? Because the name of the king Arya Bharat, એ સમયની અંદર એક કિંગ હતો, એ કિંગનું નામ આર્ય ભારત હતું. So their population was increasing very densely, right? So they wanted this place to be called as Bharat Bhumi, Bharat Khand and Bharat Varsha, etc. At that point of time. At that point of time, right? હજી આપણે ભારત કહીએ છીએ આ દેશને, right? India, right? ભારત. કેવી રીતે આ ભારત નામ પડ્યું? Because of the name of the king. At that time, Aryans એ નામ પાડ્યું. એ હજુ પણ ફોલો થાય છે. એ હજુ પણ ફોલો થાય છે. So this is something very great. હું તમને ઘણીવાર હિસ્ટ્રીમાં કહું છું, રાઈટ? એ લોકો જે ફોર ફાધર્સ છે આપણા, રાઈટ, એ આપણા માટે કંઈક મૂકી ગયા છે. So that is something very great for us. And on that basis we are developing ourselves, right? એ કોઈ બી એરા હોય, કોઈ બી સ્કિલ હોય, કોઈ બી આર્ટ હોય, કોઈ બી ટેકનોલોજી હોય, કોઈ બી નેમ હોય, કોઈ બી મેડિકલ સાયન્સ હોય, ટીચિંગ ફિલ્ડ હોય, anything. The forefathers that left for us, on the basis of that historical concepts, we are developing ourselves, right? India, that is an English word, right? આપણે ઇંગ્લિશમાં કહીએ ઇન્ડિયા, હિન્દીમાં કે ગુજરાતીમાં આપણે ભારત કહીએ, right? So a point of time ની અંદર English એટલું important નહોતું, અથવા language, the language that is English which is being spoken right now, right, was not that important. So Aryans were there and they wanted to call this nation as Bharat. Now do you get why this name is there of our country, that is Bharat? ભારત દેશનું નામ શું કામ છે? Because of the king, because of the king, that is Arya Bharat or Bharat Kul tribe, right? So it's a gift that has been given by the Aryans to us, and that is why we are being able to call our country as Bharat, right? This is something very great which still exists today. એ 1000-5000 વર્ષ જૂની વસ્તુ અત્યાર સુધી એ લોકો ખેંચીને લઈ આવ્યા અને એ હજુ પણ એક્ઝિસ્ટ કરે છે. That means it is preservation and conservation of heritage, which is your last topic. આપણે હજુ પણ એ વસ્તુને પ્રિઝર્વ કરીને રાખી છે. એટલે અત્યારે પણ, રાઈટ, 2020માં આ દેશને હજુ પણ ભારત કહેવામાં આવે છે. This is something very great, right? Let's move ahead. Next paragraph. Aryans were nature lovers. They loved and worshipped the trees, the rivers, the mountains, the sun, the wind and the rain, right? અત્યારે પણ Hindu culture, right? The Hindu people, they still worship the trees, the rivers, Ganga Nadi, right? Trees ne worship kare, right? Mountains, right? Sun, wind and the particular rain, right? All these things are even be there which exist today, and different beliefs, different gods, and still this concept of Aryans, the Aryans have concept develop કર્યો, that is to worship trees, rivers, mountains, sun, right, rain, all these things still even exist today. હજુ પણ એ બધી વસ્તુ એક્ઝિસ્ટ કરે, રાઈટ. સો ધીસ ઇઝ અગેન એન ગિફ્ટ ફ્રોમ અવર ફોરફાધર્સ ટુ અસ. એ જોઈને આપણે એ ટ્રેડિશન અથવા એ સિસ્ટમને હજુ પણ ફોલો કરીએ છીએ, રાઈટ. સો this all concepts were being developed by the Aryans, right. ઘણા લોકો સૂર્યને સવારના પહોરમાં પાણી ચડાવતા હોય, so all that kind of things in the form of worship, right. Rivers, ગંગા નદીને બહુ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ માનવામાં આવે છે, right. And all these trees, ઘણા લોકો ટ્રીઝ ઉપર દોરા બાંધતા હોય. I don't know because right technical concepts મને બહુ નથી ખબર, but આવું મેં જોયું છે, right. All these things are being there even today. My point is હજુ પણ આ બધી વસ્તુ એક્ઝિસ્ટ કરે છે, right. તો આ બધી વસ્તુ ક્યાંથી આવી? આપણા ફોર ફાધર્સમાંથી આવી. આપણે કંઈ જાતે તો બનાવી નથી. વી સો અવર grandparents and great grandparents and forefathers did all these things. So where actually did came from? It came from the Aryans. So all these worshipping things of different beliefs and different gods in the form of sun, mountain, rivers and all these rains, right, they came from the Aryans. Right. So that is an important thing. They had composed hymns for praying to various natural elements, right. આ જેટલા પણ concepts છે બધા natural elements છે. Mountains is a natural concept, rivers is a natural concept, rain is a natural concept, sun is a natural concept. એના માટે hymns પણ તૈયાર કર્યા હતા. Hymns means આપણે જે પોએમ કહીએ ને પોએટિક વેની અંદર, સો એવી રીતે hymns તૈયાર કર્યા to worship different natural elements, right. In due course of time, some religious ceremonies like recitations of Vedas, performing yagnas and other activities became prevalent in India, right. એટલે થોડાક સમય પછી જેમ જેમ સમય આગળ વધતો ગયો એ એક નેચરલ કોન્સેપ્ટ થઈ ગયો which was considered as a mandatory thing for all the Aryans who were there for the next generation. પછી એમને શીખવાડવામાં કે કહેવામાં નહોતું આવતું, એ કોન્સેપ્ટ ધીમે ધીમે ફોલો થઈ ગયો, right. So that is what it is. There was a fine amalgamation of those tribes with their specific style of living and harmonious culture was formed, which gave India a glorious and precious heritage, right. Our belief, our culture, different gods, natural elements ne God consider karine pray karwanu, hymns create karwani. That is one of the greatest, glorious and prestigious concept that is considered as a heritage. Even today, અત્યારે તમને કોઈ પૂછે કે આ બધી વસ્તુ ક્યાંથી આવી, so as an Indians you should know that all these things came from Aryans. Right. આ બધી વસ્તુ Aryans પાસેથી આવેલી છે, right. So it is an heritage for us. Which is a blessing which was being given by our forefathers, which still exists today, right. So you should know as an educated person or as an Hindu, right. આપણે Aryans ના followers છીએ and we still exist in Bharat, that is India it is called today, but we should know all these things. And if someone asks us where this concept came from, who developed it, it was the Aryans who developed it, and naturally it became a habit and culture, and slowly and steadily it was being there as a heritageal concept. આ તો કરવું જ પડે. Heritage, forefathers થી આવેલું છે, right. All these things are in part of the heritage, so there is nothing new. This foreign and Indian tribe amalgamated in such a way over a long period of time that they lost their individual identity through intercaste marriages. See, मैं घणी बार बोलूं, right. Again I am telling you, and the same sentence has been written over here. હવે આ એક બાજુ આર્યન્સનું કલ્ચર ડેવલપ થતું હતું, દ્રવિડિયન્સ પોતાને છૂટા કરીને સાઉથમાં જતા રહ્યા હતા, બીજી અધર ટ્રાઇબ્સ હતી, રાઈટ. આ બધા લોકો ઇન્ડિયામાં જ રહેતા હતા. All these people used to stay in India. And there were some Britishers, that is some European countries, and that people also existed in India, they stayed in India, right. હવે જો કેવો કોન્સેપ્ટ થાય, આટલી ટ્રાઇબ્સ તો ઓલરેડી છે, રાઈટ. ઉપરથી આર્યન્સ છે, એમનું પોપ્યુલેશન વધતું જાય છે. They call themselves as Hindu, and plus there is a mixture of the foreign people, that is the other tribe. See, I am repeating the sentence again, try to understand. This foreign and Indian tribes amalgamated, એટલે combine થઈ ગયા. Foreign and Indian tribes, foreign એટલે શું? The people who are coming from out of the country, they are known as the foreigners, whichever it is, right. તો એ લોકો પણ ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર આવીને સેટલ થતા હતા, જેમાં અલગ અલગ ટ્રાઇબ્સ આવીને સેટલ થતી હતી, એવા બીજા લોકો પણ ઇન્ડિયામાં આવીને સેટલ થતા હતા. They called themselves as foreigner. They came down to our country, settled over there in India, right, and got married with the local people. See, I am repeating it again. This foreign and Indian tribes amalgamated in such a way over a long period of time. એટલે એવું નહીં કે 2-5 વર્ષ, ફોરેનર્સ એટલા બધા ઇન્ડિયામાં આવી ગયા હતા એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમની અંદર, અને એટલો બધો સમય ઇન્ડિયામાં રહ્યા that they amalgamated in such a way for a long point of time that they lost their individual identity. પોતાનું ઇન્ડિવિજ્યુઅલ આઈડેન્ટિટી શું છે એ ખબર નહોતી. થ્રુ intercaste marriages. It is just like, you know, અહીંયા randomly એક invisible tribe મૂકી દો, that is foreigners, એક એડ કરી દો for an example, right? આ ટ્રાઇબ આની જોડે મેરેજ થાય, આ ટ્રાઇબ આની જોડે મેરેજ થાય, આ ટ્રાઇબ આની જોડે ઇન્ટરકાસ્ટ મેરેજ થાય, આ ટ્રાઇબ આની જોડે ઇન્ટરકાસ્ટ મેરેજ થાય, આ ટ્રાઇબ ના ઘણી બધી પ્રોબેબિલિટી થાય, રાઈટ? હવે એટલા બધા લોકો ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર આવીને વસી ગયા હતા that they lost their individual identity. So that is the fact even today. Right? So તમને એક સિમ્પલ કોન્સેપ્ટ કહું, રાઈટ? સો વિચ વિલ મેક યુ થિંક ઇન a different way. જે ઇન્ડિયન્સ હતા ને, that is the Aryans, right? મેં થોડી હિસ્ટ્રી સર્ચ કરી હતી આવું વાંચી. સો આઈ ફાઉન્ડ the Aryans were, you know, એકદમ આમ શ્યામ કલરના હતા. શ્યામ means they were not that much fair. Neither they were too dark. વચ્ચેનો કલર હોય ને, જે બહુ ગોરા પણ નહીં અને બહુ બ્લેક પણ નહીં, એટલે શ્યામ કલર જે કહેવાય, રાઈટ? એમનો સ્કિનનો કલર એવો હતો આર્યન્સ, રાઈટ? અને ઇન્ડિયન્સ હજી પણ શ્યામ હોવા જોઈએ, રાઈટ? ઘણા લોકોની સ્કિન ફેર છે, ઘણા લોકોની સ્કિન બહુ બ્લેક છે, રાઈટ? અને અલગ અલગ સ્કિન કલર્સ છે. વોટ ઇઝ ધીસ? ધીસ ઇઝ ધ રિઝલ્ટ ઓફ ધીસ કોન્સેપ્ટ that was being developed at that point of time. આપણે તેમની ખાલી નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશન્સ છે, right? So this is clearly, these are not my words, this has been written in the textbook that they lost their individual identity. કારણ કે આટલી બધી ટ્રાઇબ્સ એક જ નેશનની અંદર રહે, રાઈટ? સો ઓબ્વિયસલી there is going to be an intercaste marriages. આ તો અત્યારે આવા લોઝના રિલેટેડ એટલા ફિક્સ કહેવાય ને, હાર્ડ અને ફિક્સ થઈ ગયા છે that intercaste marriages are not allowed, right? It is very difficult thing, right, today. But એ સમયમાં એવું કાંઈ નહોતું, right? So I found it a little bit on internet and I found that the Aryans were, you know, આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં શ્યામ કલર કહીએ ને, not too dark, not too particular white skin color, right? They were somewhere in between in the tone of the skin. Now you find yourself, right? Some might be too black, some might be, you know, on an average neither too black, neither too white, and some might have very fair skin. Even though we are from different cultures, we are from different religion, right? But we don't know who our forefathers were. જો એટલું બધું આપણે પાછળ જોવા જઈએ 100, 200, 500, 1000 વર્ષ પહેલા, આપણે બી કન્ફ્યુઝ થઈ જઈએ કે ક્યાં આપણું બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ, રાઈટ? એન્ડ ધીસ કોન્સેપ્ટ વોઝ બીંગ ડેવલપ્ડ એટ ધેટ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમ. હવે તમે એ ઇન્ટરકાસ્ટ મેરેજીસ થયા હોય, પછી નેક્સ્ટ પછી તો કેટલું પોપ્યુલેશન વધતું ગયું, બ્રિટિશ એરા આવતો ગયો, પછી મુગલ એરા હતો, રાઈટ? પછી એના પછી આપણને ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્સ મળ્યું, એન્ડ ઓલ ધેટ થિંગ્સ, એન્ડ the population increased. So it is a very difficult thing as an Indians for us to recognize actually who we are. Right? અત્યારે જે આપણે કાસ્ટ ને કલ્ચર ફોલો કરીએ છીએ, that is what we see from our forefathers. કે મારા પપ્પા આ કાસ્ટના છે, મારા ગ્રેન્ડફાધર આ કાસ્ટના છે, so we believe in that particular caste and we worship that god. That's it, right? કે આપણે થોડી 2-5 પેઢી જોઈ હોય, કેટલા લોકોના ગામડામાં ચોપડા હોય, એમાં બધા રેકોર્ડ્સ લખેલા હોય, રાઈટ? કે ફાધરના ફોરફાધર એન્ડ ફોરફાધર, બસ એમનો બી એક લિમિટ હોય, ડેટા 100-200 years. એની પહેલા શું? ધેટ્સ અ ક્વેશ્ચન માર્ક. એ રજિસ્ટર ઉપરથી, ગામડાના ચોપડા ઉપરથી આપણને ખબર પડે which caste or culture we are in, right? But look at this concept, right, which was being prevailed 1000 or 5000 years back, right? So my point is the Aryans were there in increasing number. હવે આર્યન્સની સંખ્યા એટલી બધી વધતી હતી, that is the population was increasing so densely, and the other tribes which were already there in India, right? And plus the foreigners came in India, got settled over here, and they got connected with each other through intercaste marriages. So at that point of time, everyone lost their individual identity, who actually they are. કારણ કે એટલા બધા એક પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમે અલગ અલગ ટ્રાઇબ્સના ઇન્ટરકાસ્ટ મેરેજીસ થતા હોય, તો એમની નેક્સ્ટ ટુ નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશન્સ ડેવલપ થતી જાય, સો દે એકચ્યુઅલી ડોન્ટ નો વોટ ઇઝ ધેર બેકગ્રાઉન્ડ. અને પછી એ ધીમે ધીમે સમય આગળ વધતો ગયો ટિલ 2020 ટુડે. So it's a very complicated process to find out who actually we are. Either we are Indians, either we are Aryans, either we are from this tribe, either we are from foreigners, we don't know. but we only believe what our fathers and forefathers did. Right? And we see all that culture and caste and we follow that tradition and we go on. So we have to accept the reality what is going on today. આપણા ફાધર અને ફોર ફાધર્સ જે હતા જે કાસ્ટ કલ્ચરને બિલોંગ કરે છે, જે ગોડને વર્શિપ કરે છે, જે બિલીવ કરે છે, એ આપણે જોઈએ છે ને આમાં આપણે આગળ વધીએ છીએ. વી હેવ ટુ એક્સેપ્ટ ધીસ ટ્રુથ એન્ડ મૂવ ઓન. રાઈટ? બટ જો એટલો બધો હિસ્ટોરિકલ ડેટા આપણે જોવા જઈએ, યુ કેન ફાઇન્ડ ઇટ ઓન ઇન્ટરનેટ ઓલ્સો ઇફ યુ ગેટ ધી ટાઈમ. રાઈટ? It would be very difficult for us to find out who the actually Indians were. Even Google is not giving the proper answers. I did it a little bit of research. Right? But એમાં પણ એટલો perfect data મળતો નથી. Right? That is again in probability. That is again in probability. And you know that probability is always equal to 0.5, either this side or on the other side. Right? So this is what it is. Right? So this is my point. They lost actually their identity through their intercaste marriages. Next, moving ahead. Outsiders and local people were greatly influenced by the languages. Outsiders, that is from different people, and local people, that means the current people of India at that point of time, right, were greatly influenced by languages, scripts, names and religious belief, etc. They were being welcomed in India. જ્યારે ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર કોઈ બહારનો વ્યક્તિ આવે, એનું કલ્ચર અલગ હોય, એની લેંગ્વેજ અલગ હોય, એની બિલીફ અલગ હોય, તો એને વેલકમ કરવામાં આવતો. Right? So that they will have different caste, different languages, different culture and different belief. So they were being welcomed at that point of time. Right? Played a vital role in Indianizing these foreigners. Since ancient times a composite culture has been created in India. Composite એટલે mixed culture. Since ancient times, અત્યારના સમયની વાત નથી. Since ancient times composite culture એટલે mixed culture is being created in India and that still exists today. They all then became Indians. A point of time પછી જેટલું people અથવા જેટલું population હતું એ બધા Indians થઈ ગયા. કેવા થઈ ગયા? Indians. So whatever your color of the skin is, whether you are too black, whether you are not black or not white, whether you are too fair, it doesn't matter. You live in India, so you are an Indian. So you are an Indian. In short, in ancient India, the amalgamation of various cultures enriched Indian cultures by making it varied and prosperous. Varied and prosperous, right? So this is what it is. પછી જેમ જેમ પોપ્યુલેશન વધતું ગયું એમની સંખ્યા પણ વધતી ગઈ. સપોઝ ઇફ આઈ એમ ક્રિશ્ચિયન, રાઈટ, તો એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમે જેટલા ક્રિશ્ચિયન્સ હતા તો એમની સંખ્યા વધતી ગઈ. સપોઝ સમવન ઇઝ હિન્દુ, તો એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમે જે ઇન્ડિયન્સ ઇન્ડિયામાં રહેતા હતા તો એમનું પોપ્યુલેશન વધતું ગયું. સપોઝ બિલોંગ્સ ટુ મુસ્લિમ, તો એમની જે સંખ્યા હતી એમનું પોપ્યુલેશન વધતું ગયું. એન્ડ અધર કાસ્ટ, જેટલી કાસ્ટ છે, ડિફરન્ટ લેંગ્વેજીસ આર ધેર. ધેટ ઇઝ વાય ઇવન ટુડે, રાઈટ, 28 states, 28 particular states, different languages, different castes and different cultures that exist today. A point of time નું રિઝલ્ટ અત્યારે આપણે જોઈ શકીએ છીએ. રાઈટ? આ આપણે ડેવલપ કરેલું નથી. The culture and the caste that has been developed thousands of years back, right? એ જે અત્યારનો કોન્સેપ્ટ નથી, આ હજારો વર્ષ જૂનો કોન્સેપ્ટ છે. અને પછી એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમ એવું નક્કી કરવામાં આવ્યું હતું, વોટ એવર યોર કાસ્ટ એન્ડ કલ્ચર ઓર રિલિજિયસ બિલીફ ઇઝ, યુ સ્ટે ઇન ઇન્ડિયા. One point, that means you are an Indian. That means you are an Indian. We don't care what kind of particular color is, what kind of your religion is, or what kind of your belief is. You are in India, so you are known as an Indian. That's it. Right? So this culture was being developed and being accepted as an Indians, as an Indians. So last paragraph, I'm repeating it again. They all became Indians. પછી તમે આ કોઈ બી કાસ્ટમાં હોય, અહીંયા એક ઇનવિઝિબલ હતી, that is the foreigners, right? So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 and 6 foreigners. કોઈ બી કાસ્ટ હોય, તમે દેશમાં રહ્યો છો ભારતમાં, that is the India, so you are known as Indians. That's it. And at that point of time, they were being even given the freedom to develop their own religion and their caste. Right? That is why we find lot of different religions in India today. ત્યારે કંઈ એવું નહોતું કીધું કે તમે ઇન્ડિયામાં છો તો તમે આર્યન્સના જ ફોલોવર્સ થશો, કે તમારે આર્યન્સનો જ કોન્સેપ્ટ ફોલો કરવો પડશે. એવું ક્યારેય કંઈ હતું જ નહીં. That is why India is a democratic country. Even today, every people has the right to think and right to talk whatever they want. Free nation. એમને ફ્રી નેશન નથી થતો, રાઈટ? આપણે પ્લેજમાં બોલીએ છીએ ને, ઇન્ડિયા ઇઝ માય કન્ટ્રી, ઓલ ઇન્ડિયન્સ આર માય બ્રધર્સ એન્ડ સિસ્ટર્સ એન્ડ ગો ઓન, રાઈટ? Democratic nation. What is democracy? Democracy means the power to speak, the power to think, freedom, right? એમને આવી ગયું ના, એ કોન્સેપ્ટમાંથી અહીંયા આવ્યું છે. Right? No one can force you to change your religion today. Whatever you want, you can accept it. આ તો હવે જે સિચ્યુએશન આવી છે અત્યારની, the current situation, that is quite complicated. Right? Intercaste marriages ઓછા થઈ ગયા છે, એલાવ નથી કરતા, ઘણા બધા સોશિયલ પ્રોબ્લેમ્સ થાય છે ટુડે. એ પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમમાં એવું they were being welcomed in our nation. You can stay in our India, whatever your religion and caste is, we don't mind. Only one condition: you will be called Indian. You will be called Indian, right? So this is what the current scenario of our nation is, right? અને હજી પણ તમે જુઓ કેટલા એવા બધા ફેસ્ટિવલ્સ છે, કોઈ બી ફેસ્ટિવલ, કોઈ બી રિલિજનનો, ઘણા બધા લોકો ભેગા થઈને સેલિબ્રેટ કરે છે, right? Belief is a different thing. Right? Belief is a different thing, but I still find, this is my personal experience, right? મારા ઘણા બધા એવા ફ્રેન્ડ્સ છે જે ક્રિસમસમાં જોઈન થાય છે, right? હું પોતે બીજાના ફેસ્ટિવલ્સમાં જોઈન થાઉં, right? This is what it is. This makes our nation more prosperous, right? આવું બીજા કન્ટ્રીઝની અંદર બહુ ઓછું જોવા મળે છે, because there are not different cultures, there are not different languages, there are not different beliefs, right? So this is a great or a powerful nation that we are living in today. That is India. That is India, right? So I hope the concept of Aryans is clear now, right? Moving ahead towards the last topic of this chapter, that is preservation and conservation of heritage. Now you know what heritage is, right? You know what heritage concept is, what it is. જે આપણે અત્યારે જોઈએ છે, જે આપણા forefathers આપણા માટે મૂકી ગયા. You know what culture is. Now we need to preserve all these things. Now we need to preserve all these things, right? Preservation એટલે એને preserve કરીને રાખવું. Each aspect of Indian heritage made India eye-catching. કોઈ બી topic હોય, કોઈ બી aspect હોય, related to religion, related to belief, related to caste or culture, right? That was an eye-catching concept for our nation. Every country from the other world, right, that was watching India, what India is doing, right? That was an eye-catching concept, picturesque and attractive, right? कोई भी जुए ने એટલે એમ થાય, wow, India is a great nation, right? Which allows each and every culture to be accepted very easily. બીજા countries આવું કરી શકતા નહોતા. Heritage brought glory to the nation. India attained a leading position in the world by keeping its rich heritage protected and preserved. Right? અત્યારે પણ protected છે અને preserved છે. એટલે જ તમને ગુજરાતી બોલતા આવડે છે, તમને ઇંગ્લિશ બોલતા આવડે છે, તમને હિન્દી બોલતા આવડે છે. Right? આ બધી લેંગ્વેજીસ ક્યાંથી આવી? મેં તમને પહેલા કીધું, it is a part of communication. I hope you remember all these things, right? આપણે હિસ્ટ્રીમાં જોઈ ગયા. Right? So from that communication, the people transform themselves from one tribe to the other tribe, from one place to the other place, right? Different beliefs, different caste, code and culture, right? All these things were being developed from particular communication, right? So that still exists today, right? ગુજરાતી છીએ તો ગુજરાતમાં રહીએ છીએ તો ગુજરાતી બોલતા આવડે, મહારાષ્ટ્રમાં રહીએ છીએ તો મરાઠી બોલતા આવડે, right? Different states માં રહીએ છીએ તો એમની local language બોલતા આવડે. This is what it is, right? હજુ પણ આપણે એ બધી languages through communication concept has still been preserved today. Still being preserved today, and they are being respected also. They are being respected also, right? Thus, it is the primary and pious duty of every citizen of India to see that nobody harms the ancient memorials and also preserve the places having historical importance and values. In our constitution, તો આપણું constitution એ છે, બંધારણ કહીએ ને, right? આપણું constitution. The fundamental duties of Indian citizens are mentioned in Article 51A. The fundamental duties of Indian citizens. Indian citizens એટલે તમે ને હું. તો આપણા કોન્સ્ટિટ્યુશનની અંદર પણ એક આર્ટિકલ 51A ની અંદર ચોખ્ખું એવું લખેલું છે that if you are an Indian citizen, in that 6, 7 and 9, point number 6, 7 and 9 describes the following duties for preservation of cultural heritage. આપણી Indian citizens ની responsibility થાય છે as per article 51A in the sub points of 6, 7 and 9. Each and every Indian citizen should preserve our cultural heritage. Now what are that points? Point number 1. To understand the importance of harmonious culture, prosperity and to preserve it. We should understand that point, that is the importance of harmonious culture. ये जे culture છે, कोई भी culture हो, कोई भी religion हो, कोई भी caste हो, कहीं पण होय. Right? Now you know what culture is, right? Culture definition page number 1 ઉપર જ છે. Right? Whatever it is, right? એ આપણે accept કરવાનું છે અને એને preserve કરવાનું છે. That is the first point. As per the Constitution of Article 51A, sub-point 6, 7 and 9. Point number 2. Maintain the forest. Forest preserve karwana. Tanks, area. Tanks means area. Rivers, ponds, and wild animals and birds, along with maintaining the natural environment, and show compassion for all the living creatures. Right? જેટલી પણ વસ્તુ છે environment, forest, pond, wild animals, birds, we need to protect the them. We need to protect them. That is the second concept. Third concept, that is the protection of public property. What is public property? You know, public property means જે open place છે, જ્યાં public જઈને બેસી શકે છે. For example, gardens. Right? For example, museums. Right? આ બધી public property કહેવાય. For example, government schools. Right? આ બધી વસ્તુને protect કરવી બહુ જરૂરી છે. Right? So my point is to protect public property, and giving up violence is also included in it. Peace. No amount of violence should be created in our nation. All these points are related or added in Constitution of Article 51A. Right? કોઈ જાતનું violence થતું હોય, right? જેમાંથી એકબીજાને નુકસાન થાય, we have the power to stop them. Right? If you find two people fighting, you have the power to stop them. આપણે છોડાવવા નથી જતા. Alright? કેવા એ ભાઈ, don't fight. Right? એમને એમ થઈ જાય. This is as per Article 51A because it creates humanity. It creates humanity because by harassing or by creating violence, it is a damage for both the sides. Right? Today it is you, tomorrow it would be me. Right? Violence is not the solution. So article માં એવું લખેલું છે કે કોઈ બી જાતનું violence થતું હોય, not between humans but between humans and animals, between two particular different caste and culture, we have the power to stop them. Right? કોઈ જાતનું વાયલન્સ થવું જોઈએ નહીં, અને એ each and every citizenની responsibility. Thus nature has created beautiful landscapes. We should maintain the purity, sanctity and beauty of these places, considering it to be our moral duty. India is a piece of land where there is lot of natural sceneries, lot of natural beauty, like lots of rivers, lots of mountains, lots of greenery, natural places, forest, right? ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર છે. આ બધી વસ્તુને પ્રિઝર્વ કરવી બહુ જરૂરી છે. રાઈટ? એ તમારી અને મારી જવાબદારી થઈ જાય એઝ એન ઇન્ડિયન સિટીઝન. એઝ એન ઇન્ડિયન સિટીઝન ઇટ બિલોંગ્સ ટુ ઓલ ધી અધર પીપલ હુ આર લિવિંગ ઇન અધર પ્લેસીસ. રાઈટ? કારણ કે એ મેં પહેલાં જ કીધું, એક જ એવો નેશન છે જ્યાં ત્રણેય સિઝન ફેવરેબલ છે. You find all the three seasons at one point of time in nation. That is India. You find it summer, you find it monsoon and you find it winter. બીજા દેશમાં આ ત્રણેય સિઝન એક સાથે તો ઓછી જોવા મળે છે. Right? So it's a gift that we are living in India, so we should preserve all these things. Whether it is rivers, mountains, purity and sanctity and beauty of this place considered to be as a moral duty. જો આપણે આ બધી વસ્તુને નુકસાન કરીશું અથવા ડિસ્ટ્રોય થતા જોશું, રાઈટ, એક પોઈન્ટ ઓફ ટાઈમે ત્યાં કાંઈ જ નહીં હોય. Right? There would be nothing at one point of time. Right? So at least if we are not able to develop it, we should not even destroy it. We should not even destroy it. Right? Thus the Indian heritage is an outcome of development of people of India over a long point of time. So long period of time. Nature has generously donated abundant prosperity to India. Nature has generated or donated abundant prosperity. એટલું બધું નેચરે ગિફ્ટ કરેલું છે દેશને, right, to the nation that is India. We have seen what nature has gifted: landscape, rivers, mountains, right, different peoples, different castes, different cultures, different environment, right. બધી વસ્તુ, natural heritage of India, ચાર concepts હતા, right. So that is a gift of nature. That is a gift of nature, right. Nature has generously donated abundant prosperity to India. India has achieved invaluable opportunities in all fields. India has achieved invaluable opportunities. That means we have lot of opportunities in all the fields for gradual development due to India's peculiar natural structure. કારણ કે આપણું સ્ટ્રક્ચર જ એવું છે, જે એન્વાયરમેન્ટ, જે સિસ્ટમ જોઈએ, રાઈટ, જે કન્ડિશન જોઈએ એ આપણા દેશમાં છે, અહીંયા નહીં તો બીજા સ્ટેટ, રાઈટ. સો દેટ ઇઝ અ ગિફ્ટ ઓફ નેચર. That is a gift of nature, right. આપણે એક કોન્સેપ્ટ જોઈ ગયા હતા, પોવર્ટી એન્ડ અનએમ્પ્લોયમેન્ટ. હવે તમને એવું થતું હશે, ઘણા સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ એવું વિચારતા હતા, સર આટલી પોવર્ટી કેમ છે, આટલી અનએમ્પ્લોયમેન્ટ કેમ છે, રાઈટ, બીકોઝ ઓફ ધી પોપ્યુલેશન એન્ડ પ્લસ there is a lot of corruption that is going on. That is why people are not getting proper jobs and proper employment, and that leads to poverty, right. ઘણા લોકો એવા છે ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર જે દેશને ડેવલપ થતો અટકાવી દે, જે ખાલી પોતાનું પર્સનલ ડેવલપમેન્ટ વિચારે. એમના પર્સનલ ડેવલપમેન્ટમાં બીજા 100 જણાનું ડેવલપમેન્ટ થતું નથી. ઇટ્સ અ નંબર, રાઈટ. ધીસ ઇઝ વોટ ઇઝ હેપનિંગ ઇન અવર કન્ટ્રી. જો આ જે કોન્સેપ્ટ્સ છે ને ચેપ્ટર નંબર 1 ની અંદર, દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ ધી બ્લેસિંગ્સ, દેટ ઇઝ ઓલ ધી બ્લેસિંગ્સ, રાઈટ. આ પ્રોબ્લેમ એ થયો, માણસ એટલું બધું વધતું ગયું ઇન્ડિયાની અંદર, ધ પોપ્યુલેશન હેઝ બીકમ સો રેપિડલી ઇન્ક્રીઝિંગ that it is very difficult to even maintain all this natural and cultural resources that today, right. જેની population number વધતું જાય એટલે તમે as a government you cannot plan everything what now you can do. કઈ વસ્તુને પ્રોટેક્ટ કરવી, ક્યાં ધ્યાન આપવું, ક્યાં ધ્યાન ન આપવું. અને એ પોપ્યુલેશન એટલું વધતું જાય છે કે એમાંથી કેટલાક લોકો એવા છે જે દેશને આગળ થવા દેતા નથી. They don't allow the nation to develop. They only think of their own personal development. That leads to corruption. And that corruption leads to unemployment. કેટલા લોકોને જોબ નથી મળતી, and that unemployment leads to poverty, and it's a cycle that keeps on rotating, and the number is increasing. So now we need to understand all these concepts and try to work as a nation, as a unit, that is one unit, big unit, so that we can develop the nations, because we have everything. We have everything, right. That is, nature has generously donated prosperity to India. નેચરે જેટલું હતું બધે બધું આપણા નેશનમાં આપી દીધું છે. વી જસ્ટ નીડ ટુ પ્રોટેક્ટ ઇટ, પ્રિઝર્વ ઇટ એન્ડ ટેક ધ બેનિફિટ્સ એન્ડ ડેવલપ ધ નેશન. India has achieved invaluable opportunities on all the fields for gradual development due to India's peculiar natural structure. In this way, Indian heritage is a result of development of the people of India in the social, economical, political and cultural field over the centuries, right. બધી સાઇડ, બધા એરિયાની અંદર આપણે ડેવલપમેન્ટ જોઈએ છીએ. વી ફાઇન્ડ ડેવલપમેન્ટ ઇન ઓલ ધી સ્ટેજીસ, વેધર ઇટ ઇઝ a social concept which is related to caste, culture and belief, whether it is an economical concept that is balancing the economy, whether it is a political concept that is election, that is democracy, right. Election and a selection માં ફેર છે. Selection is from certain few people, and election means you have the power to elect whom to keep and whom to not. કોને રાખવો ને કોને ના રાખવો, right. That is what election is, the power of voting, right. And all these things are coming from democracy. એક જ એવો I guess આટલો બધો ઇન્ડિપેન્ડન્ટ દેશ હશે, આટલો બધો બેનિફિટ વાળો દેશ હશે કે આપણે નક્કી કરીએ છીએ કે કોને ઇલેક્ટ કરવો ને કોને નહીં, થ્રુ ધ પાવર ઓફ વોટિંગ. હવે તમે જુઓ છો એમાંય કરપ્શન સ્ટાર્ટ થઈ ગયા. આઈ એમ નોટ બ્લેમિંગ વન સાઇડ ઓર ધી અધર સાઇડ, બટ સ્ટીલ દેર આર લોટ ઓફ illegal activities are being taken through the help of technology, right. ઘણી બધી વસ્તુમાં, ઘણી બધી સાઇડ્સમાં હવે કરપ્શન્સ વધતું જાય છે, રાઈટ. આપણે આ કોન્સેપ્ટ મારો એ કહેવાનો છે કે આપણી પાસે બધું જ છે. In the terms of nature, in the terms of culture, in the terms of social, economical, political and cultural field, we have everything. 28 states, lot of people, lot of youth, 55% is youth, right, which is falling from the category of 20 to 45, right. We have the power, we have the strongest nation, but there are certain elements which doesn't allow the country to grow. right? So we should act as per the law and make our nation strong. Plus we should preserve all these heritageous concepts. આ જેટલા different concepts છે એને આપણે પ્રોટેક્ટ કરવા બહુ જરૂરી છે. This all concepts are being vanishing today, right? અત્યારે આપણે કોઈ કાસ્ટને કહે છે you are welcome in our country. We don't say this. Neither the other countries allow Indians to settle there, right? તમે તમારા દેશમાં આવો. This concept is slightly increasing nowadays, right? So India as a nation should develop in such a way which includes all the concepts, that is social, economical, political and cultural field over the centuries, not today, over the centuries. આપણો એક જ નેશન એવો છે, વસુદેવ કુટુંબકમ, right? The whole nation is a family, right? That is what it is. Atithi Devo Bhava, the guest is the God that has been welcomed in our own house, right? All these concepts are being there not today, since centuries. Since centuries, this is what our culture is. This is what the India that is as a nation is, right? And we should preserve all this concept. We should preserve the natural concept. We should preserve the culture. We should preserve different people from different languages. We should respect them. We should understand them and live as a unit, as a unity in one nation, that is India, so that we can develop our nation. So that we can develop our nation, right? બહારના કન્ટ્રીમાં કે દેશમાં જે થતું હોય that is a different concept. But India is a field of, or is a land of culture, caste, community, whether it is related to social, economical or political view, we all are one when it comes to India. And that defines our nation. That defines our nation. And it's a moral or social responsibility to preserve all this cultural or the heritageal concept, right? So that the upcoming next generations can see something from us and they can learn. And they can learn. આપણે કેવું લર્ન કરીએ છીએ, સમજીએ છીએ, આપણા forefathers આપણા માટે આટલું બધું મૂકતા ગયા. We saw that historical concept and we developed and still we exist today, right? જે forefathers એ મૂક્યું એ હજી ઘણી બધી વસ્તુ એક્ઝિસ્ટ થાય છે. તો આપણે પણ કંઈક એવું મૂકતું જવાનું છે કે 100 વર્ષ 200 વર્ષ કે સેન્ચુરીઝ પછી જે નેક્સ્ટ ટુ નેક્સ્ટ જનરેશન હશે એ આપણામાંથી જોઈને કંઈ લર્ન કરશે. That is what makes the histories. That is what makes the histories. Because after 100, 200 or 300 or 500 years back, when the next generations would be there, what they learn? They learn from ourselves. What we did in today's era. Maybe this is 2020, so 30 or 40, right? Even there would be history at that point of time also. તો આપણે કંઈક એવું સારું મૂકતા ગયા હશું તો એમને એ નોલેજ તરીકે કામ લાગશે અને એ પ્રિઝર્વેશન અને કલ્ચર આગળ જતું હશે. It's a very important thing to preserve and conserve the heritageal concept, right? I hope the chapter is clear. We are stopping the video over here, right? If you have any questions, any doubts which is related to this chapter, you can ask.